Los Angeles, August, 1970. Bruce Lee is lying in a hospital bed. His back has serious damage between the L4 and L5 vertebrae. 3 different doctors told him the same thing. You'll never move like before. Say goodbye to martial arts. If you're lucky, you'll walk again. Bruce is 29 years old, at the peak of his career, about to sign Hollywood film deals, and now doctors are telling him his dreams are over. A normal person would give up at this point. But Bruce Lee wasn't normal. 6 months later, those same doctors would be shocked when they saw him working in the studio. Because Bruce wasn't just walking. He had become stronger, faster, more dangerous. How did he do it? The answer wasn't a medical miracle. It was a mental revolution. August 14th, 1970. Bruce Lee wakes up in excruciating pain. He can barely move. His lower back feels like it's on fire. Every breath hurts. He tries to sit up. Can't. His wife Linda rushes over. "Don't move," she says. "I'm calling the doctor." The pain started 3 days ago during a training session. Bruce was doing a simple warm-up exercise called Good Mornings, holding a barbell across his shoulders and bending forward at the waist. He'd done this exercise hundreds of times, but this time, something went wrong. He felt a sharp pain shoot through his lower back. Didn't think much of it. Bruce had trained through pain before, but this was different. The pain got worse. By day 2, he could barely walk. By day 3, he couldn't get out of bed. Dr. Harold Cartman, a sports medicine specialist, examines Bruce, takes x-rays, runs tests. His face is serious. "Mr. Lee, you have significant damage to your 4th and 5th lumbar vertebrae. The sacral nerve is compressed. This is a serious injury." Bruce asks, "Can I train again?" Dr. Cartman hesitates. "Train?" "Mr. Lee, I'm concerned about whether you'll walk normally again. Martial arts training? That's completely out of the question. Your spine can't handle that kind of stress anymore." Bruce is silent, processing. His whole life has been martial arts. Since age 13, 17 years of training, Wing Chun, boxing, fencing, wrestling, judo. He created his own system, Jeet Kune Do. He was about to break into Hollywood. The Green Hornet made him known. Film offers were coming, and now this. Dr. Cartman continues. The best-case scenario with intensive physical therapy, you might return to normal daily activities in 18 to 24 months. But high-impact activities like martial arts? I wouldn't count on it. The risk of permanent paralysis is too high. Bruce asks, "What's the worst-case scenario?" The doctor is direct. Permanent disability, wheelchair, loss of lower body function. "Mr. Lee, you need to take this seriously. Complete bed rest for at least 6 months. No training, no strenuous activity. Let your body heal." Linda is crying. Bruce is calm. Too calm. He asks one more question. "Doctor, has anyone recovered from this faster than 18 months? Dr. Cartman thinks. "Statistically, no. The human body needs time to heal. You can't rush biology. The average recovery for this type of injury is 18 to 24 months, and most patients never return to their previous activity level." Bruce nods. "Thank you, doctor." That's all he says. Over the next 2 weeks, Bruce can't leave bed. The pain is constant. Some days it's unbearable. He needs help to go to the bathroom, help to change clothes, help to eat sitting up. For someone who prided himself on physical mastery, this is torture. Not just physical torture, mental torture. Linda watches him struggle. She sees him try to move and fail. She sees the frustration in his eyes. One night, she finds him crying. Not from pain, from fear. Fear that it's over, fear that everything he worked for is gone. But something interesting starts happening around week 3. Linda notices Bruce is different. He's not just lying in bed staring at the ceiling anymore. He's reading. Books on neuroplasticity, mind-body connection, visualization techniques, meditation, Eastern philosophy, Western psychology. Stack after stack of books. She asks, What are you reading? Bruce says, I'm learning how the mind controls the body. The doctors say my body can't move. Fine, but my mind can move. And if I can train my mind, maybe I can train my body differently. Linda doesn't understand. But you can't move. Bruce says, I can move in here. He points to his head. The mind doesn't know the difference between real movement and imagined movement. The same neural pathways fire, the same muscles activate mentally. If I can't train my body, I'll train my mind. And when my body is ready, my mind will already be stronger. This is the beginning of Bruce Lee's most important training period. Not in a gym, not in a dojo, in a hospital bed, completely still, training harder than he ever had before. Week 4, Bruce establishes a routine. Every morning he wakes up at 6 a.m. Can't get out of bed, so he starts mental training immediately. Eyes closed, he visualizes his body. Healthy, strong, moving. He sees himself throwing a side kick, perfect form, full extension. Feels the muscles engage, hip rotation, knee extension, foot contact. In his mind, it's real. He does this for hours, different techniques, punches, kicks, blocks, footwork. He doesn't just see them, he feels them. His brain sends signals to his muscles. The muscles can't respond because his back won't allow it, but the neural pathways are firing. The connection is strengthening. Dr. Cartman visits, sees Bruce lying still with eyes closed. Thinks he's sleeping. Linda says, he's training. The doctor's confused. Training? He's not moving. Linda explains what Bruce told her. Dr. Cartman is skeptical. Visualization is fine for motivation, but it doesn't heal vertebrae. It doesn't repair nerve damage. This is wishful thinking, Mrs. Lee. Your husband needs to accept reality. But Bruce doesn't accept reality. He challenges it. He reads about research from Soviet sports scientists who used mental rehearsal with Olympic athletes. Studies showing that mental practice activates the same brain regions as physical practice. Evidence that visualization can maintain muscle memory even during injury. Week 8. Bruce starts adding detail to his mental training. He doesn't just visualize techniques, he visualizes resistance, opponents, challenges. In his mind, he's sparring with skilled fighters. They attack, he defends, he counters, faster than before, sharper. Because in his mind, his body has no limits, no injured back, no pain, just pure movement. Something strange happens. On week 10, during physical therapy, the therapist notices something unusual. Mr. Lee, your muscle response is better than expected. Usually with complete bed rest, we see significant atrophy. But your muscles are responding as if they've been active. Bruce smiles. They have been. Just not physically. Week 12. 3 months since the injury. Dr. Cartman does a follow-up examination. He's surprised. Your recovery is progressing faster than anticipated. The inflammation has reduced significantly. Nerve compression is decreasing. This is unusual for this timeline. Bruce asks, Can I start light movement? Dr. Cartman is cautious. Very light, no weight, no impact, just gentle stretching. Don't push it. Bruce starts incorporating physical movement into his mental training. He can only move a little, but every small movement is intentional, controlled. He doesn't rush. Every morning before physical movement, he does mental rehearsal, sees the movement in his mind first, then executes it physically, slowly, carefully, paying attention to every sensation. Linda watches this process. She's amazed. Bruce moves with the same precision and focus as before his injury, but slower, more mindful. It's like watching a master craftsman work. Every movement has purpose. Week 16, 4 months. Bruce can walk short distances, with pain, but he can do it. He starts doing gentle standing exercises, basic stances, weight shifting, nothing dynamic yet, but progress. His mental training intensifies. Now that he can move a little, he cross-references mental practice with physical feedback. In his mind, he throws a punch. Then, physically, he makes the smallest version of that movement, checks if the sensation matches his visualization, adjusts his mental image, tries again. This feedback loop accelerates his progress. He's not just healing randomly, he's rebuilding his movement patterns with precision. Every neural pathway is being reinforced intentionally. Dr. Cartman visits again. Mr. Lee, I have to say, your recovery is remarkable. In 20 years of sports medicine, I've rarely seen someone come back this well from this type of injury in this time frame. What are you doing differently? Bruce says, I'm training my mind to heal my body. The mind controls everything. If I can keep my mental pathways strong, my physical pathways follow. The doctor is still skeptical, but can't argue with results. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. But please, don't push too hard. Your spine is still vulnerable. Bruce nods, but privately, he knows he's going to push. Carefully, intelligently. But he's going to push. Because lying in bed for 6 months taught him something. The biggest limits aren't physical, they're mental. Most people give up not because their body can't continue, but because their mind tells them to stop. Week 20, 5 months. Bruce is walking normally, no limp, no visible pain. He starts light shadow boxing, no power, just form. His movements are slow but perfect. Every punch travels the exact path he visualized during his months in bed. Every kick has the precise chamber and extension he practiced mentally. His students visit. They haven't seen him train in 5 months. They expect him to be weak, diminished. Instead, they see something different. Bruce's movements are slower than before, but more refined, more efficient, like he's stripped away everything unnecessary and kept only what matters. One student, Dan Inosanto, asks, Sifu, how did you maintain your skill? Bruce explains his mental training method. For 5 months, I couldn't move my body, so I moved my mind. Every day, hours of visualization, perfect technique, over and over. No bad habits creeping in because I couldn't physically practice incorrectly, just pure mental rehearsal. My mind got stronger while my body healed. Dan is fascinated. So you're saying mental training is as effective as physical training? Bruce clarifies, not as effective, more effective in some ways. Physical training builds muscle and technique, but it also builds bad habits if you're not careful. Mental training is pure, no physical limitations. You can practice perfect form, and when your body is ready, it follows what the mind has already mastered. Week 24. 6 months exactly since the injury. Bruce returns to the same hospital where Dr. Cartman gave him the diagnosis. The doctor examines him, runs the same tests, checks flexibility, strength, nerve response. His expression changes from professional to genuinely amazed. Mr. Lee, this is extraordinary. Your spine has healed completely. No residual nerve damage, full range of motion. I need to ask, did you see another specialist? Get some treatment I don't know about? Bruce says, no other treatment, just what you prescribed, plus my own method. Dr. Cartman asks what method. Bruce explains the mental training, the visualization, the neural pathway work, the mind-body integration. The doctor listens, still skeptical, but can't deny the evidence in front of him. Well, whatever you did, it worked. You're cleared for normal activity. But please, be careful. Don't jump back into intense training immediately. Bruce thanks him. Walks out of the hospital. Linda is waiting in the car. What did he say? Bruce smiles. He said I'm healed, but he also said to be careful and not train intensely. Linda knows that look. You're not going to listen, are you? Bruce laughs. I'm going to be smart, but I'm also going to test what I learned. I spent 6 months rebuilding my foundation mentally. Now I need to see if it translates physically. 1 week later, Bruce is at his school in Los Angeles. He asks Dan Inosanto to spar lightly, just to test his movement. They begin. Bruce is cautious at first, checking his range, testing his power, making sure his back can handle rotation and impact. Then something clicks. His body remembers. More than remembers. It performs better. The mental rehearsal wasn't just maintenance, it was refinement. 6 months of perfect mental practice created cleaner neural pathways than years of physical practice mixed with mistakes. Dan notices immediately. Sifu, you're faster than before. Bruce feels it too. His kicks are sharper, his punches more precise. The enforced stillness didn't weaken him, it purified his technique. He had to rebuild from mental blueprints, and those blueprints were flawless. Over the next month, Bruce gradually increases intensity. By month 8 post-injury, he's training harder than before the accident, not just matching his previous level, exceeding it. His back, which doctors said would never handle martial arts again, is handling more stress than ever. Because it's not just physical strength, it's mental resilience, the mind protecting and empowering the body. February 1971, 8 months post-injury. Bruce is filming fight scenes for a new project. The director watches him work, pulls him aside. Bruce, I heard you had a serious back injury. Should we modify the choreography? Take it easier? Bruce laughs. I'm fine. Better than fine. That injury taught me more than 10 years of training. It taught me that the body follows the mind. If your mind is strong, your body becomes strong. If your mind is limited, your body will be limited. I spent 6 months with a broken body and strong mind. Now, both are strong. The director is impressed but curious. How did you recover so fast? Doctors said you might never do martial arts again. Bruce explains, doctors treated my body. I treated my mind. They gave me 18 to 24 months recovery time based on physical healing alone. I gave myself 6 months by including mental healing. Every day in bed, I trained, not physically, mentally, visualization, meditation, neural pathway work. By the time my body could move, my mind had already practiced 10,000 kicks. My body just had to remember what my mind already knew. This story spreads through the martial arts community. Other injured fighters start asking Bruce about his method. He teaches them. Some apply it successfully. Others struggle because they don't understand the depth of commitment required. Bruce tells one injured student, mental training isn't just thinking about techniques, it's feeling them. When I visualized a side kick, I didn't just see my leg move. I felt every muscle engage, the hip rotation, the knee chamber, the foot extension, the impact. I felt my breathing change, my heart rate increase, my balance shift. It was as real in my mind as physical training is in the body. The student asks, but how do you make it that real? Bruce says, practice, same as physical training. You don't master a kick in one day. You don't master mental training in one day. I spent hours every day for 6 months. No distractions, total focus. That's what made it work. Most people try visualization for 10 minutes and give up because they don't feel immediate results. I committed fully, and it paid off. Years later, sports scientists would validate what Bruce discovered through necessity. Research would show that mental practice activates similar brain regions as physical practice. That visualization can maintain and even improve motor skills during injury. That the mind-body connection is far more powerful than previously understood. But in 1970, Bruce was pioneering this on his own, using his broken body as a laboratory, testing the limits of mental training, and proving that the biggest obstacle to recovery isn't the body's limitations. It's the mind's acceptance of those limitations. By 1972, Bruce Lee was filming Way of the Dragon in Rome. His physical performance was at its peak. The same back that doctors said would end his career was now executing some of the most impressive martial arts ever captured on film. Critics would later analyze his technique in these films and note the unusual precision and control in every movement. That precision came from those 6 months in bed. When he couldn't rely on physical ability, he developed mental mastery. When his body was forced to be still, his mind learned to move perfectly. And when his body healed, it inherited the perfection his mind had been practicing. One interviewer asked Bruce in 1973, shortly before his death, "What was the most important training period of your life?" Everyone expected him to talk about his years studying Wing Chun, or developing Jeet Kune Do, or training Hollywood stars. Instead, he said, "The 6 months I spent in bed with a broken back, that's when I learned that martial arts isn't about the body. It's about the mind. The body is just the tool. The mind is the master. When my body couldn't move, my mind got stronger. And when my body healed, it became stronger than it ever was before. Because I finally understood, you don't train to make your body strong. You train to make your mind strong. The strong body follows naturally." Today, the medical field recognizes the importance of mental training in physical recovery. Neuroplasticity, visualization, mind-body integration. These are standard concepts now. But in 1970, Bruce Lee was discovering them through necessity. A broken back forced him to explore what the mind could do when the body couldn't. The answer changed his life, and eventually changed how we understand human potential. The lesson isn't just about recovery from injury. It's about the relationship between mind and body. Most people wait until their body is ready to start training their mind. Bruce had no choice. His body wasn't ready. So he trained his mind first and discovered that a trained mind makes body training far more effective. The doctors who told him he'd never do martial arts again weren't wrong based on typical recovery. They just didn't account for someone who would spend 6 months doing the most intense mental training of his life, who would turn forced stillness into an opportunity for mental revolution, who would refuse to accept that physical limitations must become mental limitations. 6 months. From a hospital bed to stronger than before. Not through ignoring medical advice. Bruce followed the physical therapy, rested when told to rest, but he added something doctors didn't prescribe: relentless mental practice, and that made all the difference. What are you accepting as a permanent limitation? What is your body's current state convinced your mind is impossible? Because Bruce Lee's broken back taught him something that applies far beyond martial arts. The body sets temporary limits. The mind chooses whether those limits become permanent. Choose wisely.